The sky is falling.
The sky is falling. We got the Chicago Sky general manager, Jeff P., throwing Angel Reese under the bus?
She stepped into the WNBA like the spotlight was made for her, full of swagger, dripping with confidence, and riding a wave of media hype that most first-year players could only imagine. Dubbed the Chai Barbie, Angel Reese was hyped to be the league's next breakout star.
The Chicago Sky lose again. The Chicago Sky lose again. Now, this is actually something that's pretty funny. I need to show it to you guys. Angel Reese's teammates, I mean, they got her in the post, but for some reason, they're just choosing not to give her the ball.
Fast forward to today, and the vibe in Chicago has flipped faster than a missed fast break. Inside the Sky's front office, the energy is tense. No more grins, just raised voices and a whole lot of blame being tossed around. Angel Reese isn't the franchise darling anymore. She's the cautionary headline getting whispered in hallway meetings. If you think it's time to move on, drop bench the baby giraffe in the comments. Let's talk about it.
Angel Reese is under fire from the Chicago Sky general manager. The general manager names Angel Reese by name and says, "We need more."
A bomb just went off behind the scenes, and the shockwaves are already tearing through social media like wildfire. Word is, the GM's patience has officially run out. Missed layups? Yep, blown chances. Plenty. Another wasted shot to prove she's that girl? Absolutely. And now, Angel Reese's hold on this squad is looking about as shaky as her mid-range game.
That's something that has yet to come together, but it's a necessity for us to win, Pagliuca said. She's had some great games, and she's had some games like everybody else that haven't been her best, but she's our best chance at versatility on this roster. We need more production out of her, but we need her to help us in other ways too. We need more production out of her. Jeff Pagliuca has been seeing some of the disappointment.
This wasn't just some routine coaching pep talk. This was an alarm bell, loud and direct. A pound the desk, shape up or ship out kind of moment. And it didn't happen in front of the cameras. It went down in the shadows, where the real heat always hits. After yet another rough outing that left coaches fuming and fans shaking their heads at the box score, the GM reportedly stormed into the locker room with one goal: to light a fire.
Reese has seen her numbers drop from her rookie season to her second in 2025. She is averaging 10 points on 35% shooting and 12 rebounds per game, compared to 2024, where she posted 13.6 points on 39% shooting and 13 rebounds per game. To make matters worse for the Sky, Courtney Vandersloot, she's out for the season with a torn ACL.
Angel Reese got hit with the kind of blunt talk no PR team could soften. No sugarcoating, no spin, just a verbal check straight to the chest. And this wasn't about effort, this was about fundamentals. How many missed layups does it take before someone pulls the plug? That question wasn't a suggestion, it was a shot across the bow. And word is, this isn't the first time her name's been brought up behind closed doors. It started as quiet murmurs, but now those whispers are turning into full-blown noise.
That's something that has yet to come together, but it's a necessity for us to win. She's had some great games, but she's had some games like everybody else that haven't been her best. But she's our best chance at versatility on this roster.
Coaches and team staff had already been breaking down film, watching Angel Reese struggle under the basket like she'd forgotten how to finish. But her most recent performance, that was the tipping point. Wide open shots, missed. Easy buckets, blown. Plays that should have shifted the game in their favor only fueled the opponent's momentum instead. This wasn't just a rough night, it was a momentum killer. Inside the locker room, you could cut the tension with a knife. Teammates sat in dead silence while the GM said what everyone had been quietly thinking. She might have dominated in college, but this isn't the Big Ten anymore. That wasn't just a tough love moment, it was a demand for accountability. And this time, the criticism wasn't coming from social media haters, it was coming from inside her own squad.
How come the first time we hear you call a player out by name, it's Angel Reese? How come you went and you hired Tyler Marsh to be the head coach of this team, and then you co-sign him building an offense around Camila Cardoso, yet the first time we're talking about we need more from a player, it's for Angel Reese and not Camila Cardoso. Last time I checked, they both have been playing like garbage.
That locker room speech sent a shockwave through the team with one undeniable message: no one's spot is guaranteed. The Chicago Sky had gone all in on Angel Reese, putting her front and center on posters, selling her as the next big thing, and making her the face of the franchise. But now, they're starting to question whether they backed a future superstar or just a flashy mixtape, more hype than substance, all sparkle with no real spark.
Had pretty big, significant expectations for the season, which is why I made the moves I made. His assessment was that the Sky's 2-6 need to improve everywhere going into to address the lack of cohesion on defense and poor shooting. Going into Tuesday night's loss,
Angel Reese entered the WNBA riding a tidal wave of hype, but that momentum is hitting the rocks fast. The Chicago Sky didn't bring her in for TikTok fame or Instagram highlights. They expected her to deliver on the court. Instead, they've been treated to a showcase of missed chances, and her recent outing, especially that rough showing against Atlanta, put it all on full display. Her struggles around the rim weren't just noticeable, they were impossible to ignore.
Angel Reese, part 40, let's get it! My favorite shot in basketball, Angel Reese, long two, bang! We saw some improvement last night. They only lost by 18 and some of the layups hit rim. Bang! WNBA socials show Angel, but not her teammates. Did you say butter? Butter pecan! Bang! We're giving you free and open looks. You better cash them in, girl. Oopsie.
She missed layups so badly it's a miracle the backboard didn't sue for emotional damage. Easy putbacks turned into momentum wreckers, sucking the life out of the team with every misfire. What should have been points on the board became groans from the bench. Fans didn't need a box score, they had working eyes. And what they saw wasn't dominance. It was a player looking completely out of sync, more confused than commanding.
Bring it back to the dipsy-doo, whipsy-doo, give me that scoopity-boopity-bop! Bang! More layups. She's right-handed, by the way. Did you know? Bang! Bang! She's a great rebounder. She grabs that board really well. All the people there are excited to watch her rebound. Look at that. Watch out for the out-of-bounds line. Bang! If I'm her coach and I see this setup right here, I'm calling timeout. Nothing good ever happens here. Bing bong. Bang! Anytime she gets tied up for a jump ball, you know she's losing that because she can't jump.
The footage went viral fast. Twitter turned into a slow-motion roast session, breaking down every one of her missed shots like they were part of a crime scene investigation. Analysts dissected each botched layup like they were uncovering lost artifacts. Meanwhile, Sky fans showed no mercy, flooding the comment sections with takes so harsh they could strip the paint off the walls.
Angel Reese was quoted as saying, "I put my head down and work every single day. I don't give up on anything. I critique myself the most. I know it's going to translate. I'm just going to put my head down and work. I know the results will show."
Social media turned into a battlefield. Critics came out swinging. Some clowned her by saying her finishing looked like a JV warm-up drill. Others joked she talks like Shaq, but finishes like Shaq's water boy. And the biggest dig, fans couldn't believe someone that tall could keep disappearing in the paint. One thing was certain, the internet had officially run out of patience.
Angel Smollett, in her own words.
Yeah, obviously there's no place in this league for that. I think the WNBA, our team and our organization has done a great job supporting me. I've had communication from everyone, from so many people across this league, and being able to support me and going through this whole process. Obviously, it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone, and I think they've done a great job supporting us in this.
The WNBA is a joke, and even with Clark carrying the league on her shoulders, it's still...
But the fallout wasn't limited to social media. Behind closed doors, the tension was thick. Coaches looked like they were aging in dog years during every timeout. Commentators tried to keep it polite, but their tone couldn't hide the truth. Even rival teams started catching on, baiting her into tough shots just to watch the collapse unfold live. You could even see opposing benches holding back laughter as she bricked yet another layup like she was auditioning for a basketball blooper reel.
The Sky believed they were ready to compete for a playoff spot season where the team could give anyone a fight. There's no sugarcoating how things have gone. They've exploded early, lost Sloot to a torn ACL. They're near the bottom in the league both offensively and defensively after loading up on veterans. Even understanding that growth takes time, this guy shouldn't have been this bad.
It's like the league figured out the Reese formula. Jam the paint, cut off her space, and let the rest fall apart like a clearance rack sweater. The same physicality that made Angel Reese a force in college is now being used against her. And the worst part? When the Sky are desperate for a leader, someone to step up and take control, Angel's just there. She's moving, she's loud, she's hustling, but not changing the game. Sure, she grabs rebounds and brings fire, but if pure hustle won championships, Red Bull would have more rings than the Lakers.
Well, that's a front office issue as much as it's an Angel Reese issue. If your front office and your coach is completely fine with one of your star players missing practice to go to this engagement and to go to that engagement, then your general manager and head coach, they need to have a little bit more backbone. They need to say, no, this is a brand new team. We can't afford that, Angel. But instead, they co-sign it. They allow it. They encourage it. And they wonder why things look how they look.
Let's be honest, energy without results is just glorified cardio. When you're brought in as the face of a franchise, effort isn't something to celebrate. It's the bare minimum. The WNBA doesn't deal in sympathy points. Every trip down the court is like taking the stand in front of a jury, and every blown layup is cold, hard evidence stacked against the hype machine that got you there.
Manager Jeff Pagliuca allowing Tyler Marsh to say, yeah, Angel, go do your influencer thing and hopefully it doesn't take away from your basketball play.
Now the whispers are growing louder. The same insiders who once hyped up Angel Reese like she was the savior of the franchise are suddenly questioning if she was thrown into the fire too fast. Sure, her name still dominates the trending pages, but trending doesn't equal winning. Chicago fans aren't here for Instagram reels. They want victories. And the front office, they've officially lost patience. What began as hopeful buzz has shifted into cold, hard analysis. Every missed layup now looks like more than just a misfire. It's a red flag, a sign that maybe, just maybe, the team skipped key parts of her development because they needed a marketable star more than a polished player. The execs aren't just watching from the luxury seats anymore. They're studying, dissecting, and making decisions. And that tension, it's not contained to boardrooms. It's trickling into the locker room. Quiet, but steady, like a leak slowly flooding a sinking ship.
This is an easy entry pass right over Brianna Jones into Angel Reese's left hand. We can do a sidearm pass right into Angel Reese's left hand. We drop it off to Rachel Banham. Rachel Banham looking right at Angel Reese. And you know what this team would rather do? They would rather... Look at that. Angel Reese is just quitting at this point. She knows she's not getting the ball. They would rather turn the ball over on a shot clock violation than give Angel Reese the ball when she actually has post position.
The locker room may look united on the surface, smiles, handshakes, post-game praise, but behind the scenes, cracks are starting to show. Some teammates are still riding with Angel Reese, praising her hustle, her rebounding, and the fire she brings to the floor. But others, they're done. The veterans especially have had enough. They're tired of watching critical possessions crumble because someone can't finish a layup, frustrated with having to constantly adjust a broken game plan. And more than anything, they're fed up with the non-stop media circus that follows Reese around like a personal rain cloud. There's no open mutiny yet, but the silence is getting louder.
This is a team that they might say that they get along. They might say that they're all friends and everything's fine in the locker room, but yikes, come on, look at that. Alicia Gray's back's turned to the play. Brianna Jones is face guarding Camila Cardoso, and Rachel Banham just refuses to give Angel Reese the ball, and the Chicago Sky get a shot clock violation. I'm not sure what's going on over there in Chicago.
Behind closed doors, the whispers are growing into real conversations. Players are quietly pulling coaches aside, not just to talk strategy, but to talk fairness. This isn't about missed shots anymore. It's about trust. Word is, some of them are asking tough questions. If it were anyone else playing like this, would they still be on the floor? That's not bitterness. It's a locker room sensing double standards. And once that feeling creeps in, it's no longer just about coaching one player. It's about holding the entire team together before things unravel.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too.
I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too.
A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
Angel Reese can't proudly accept the role of the villain, then beg people for sympathy. You can't complain about mythical racism. You can't create stories of fake racism that get exposed, then ask people to feel sorry for you.
Upstairs in the front office, it's no longer just frustration, it's full-blown planning mode. The word trade hasn't hit the press yet, but behind the scenes, it's definitely in the air. Sources say Chicago's already eyeing options across the league. Forwards who can deliver clean, drama-free production. Angel Reese isn't out the door just yet, but make no mistake, she's officially on notice. Some in the building are pushing for a benching. Others think a hard dose of truth might spark a turnaround. Even her biggest supporters are watching the clock, and that sand's slipping fast.
Caitlin Clark is more mature. Caitlin Clark has decorum.
Caitlin Clark obviously is jet fuel to its popularity.
Caitlin Clark is far better of a basketball player and has made such a tremendous impact in a greater number, more so than Angel Reese. Everybody knows that. Her college career was better. The stadium sales, the WNBA popularity has gone up because Caitlin.
All the attention Angel Reese entered the league with, it's not helping now. Every choice the Chicago Sky make involving her gets dissected, debated, and spun by media outlets dying for the next headline. But from the sound of it, the front office has stopped caring about optics. One insider didn't sugarcoat it. The PR honeymoon is officially over. This is about wins now, and Angel's stuck in the wrong kind of spotlight. When the hype machine runs into hard reality, the results get exposed. She stormed into the league with swagger, talking big and ready to silence the critics. But here's the truth. Confidence doesn't make layups. Hashtags don't put points on the board. Headlines don't bring home wins. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, she's transforming Indiana into must-see TV. While Angel racks up missed shots and finger-pointing, Caitlin's setting records and stacking wins. That's the difference. One is all flash, the other is all fire. One's chasing attention, the other, greatness.
I have yet to see a single example of Angel Reese being a leader. Outside of rebounding her own missed layups, what does Angel Reese do? What is her contribution? You tell me, because I'm not seeing it. I know I'm harsh on Angel Reese, but she considers herself a star. If you're going to call yourself a star, I expect you to perform like a star, especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was the only star on the court last night, and for 27 minutes, she completely disappeared.
The GM has made their stance crystal clear. The locker room's divided, and that ticking, it's not the sound of progress, it's a countdown. Because at this point, it's no longer about missed shots or underwhelming stats. It's about maturity, accountability, and whether Angel Reese has what it takes to dig herself out of the mess she's made. If she doesn't course correct fast, Chicago won't hesitate. No one, not the name, not the brand, not even the so-called Chi Barbie, is bigger than the franchise. And maybe that's the hardest pill to swallow. In the WNBA, your college resume means nothing. What matters is what you bring when the lights hit. So now, Angel Reese is standing at a crossroads. Adapt or disappear. If you think it's time for the Sky to move on, drop a "Fire the Baby Giraffe" in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Click the video on screen. We'll catch you in the next one.